This is the book I'm going to read today that was channeled and brought through onto this plane of comprehension in 1991. And the main higher being that I was channeling was Raphael, Archangel Raphael, who I'd been channeling for a lot of years. I'm just going to begin reading a part where I have just opened this intuitively and asked what we need to hear today. And this is the page. And just a reminder here to come into the present moment. Bring your full presence in by allowing yourself to listen to the sound of my voice, not trying to understand the words that I'm saying. It brings a whole new knowing forward for you. For some, it has been a very long and tedious journey through the mire and indeed the intense heat of the fire. The fire was the fire of your own making. It did not need to be so. As you become accustomed to the other side of your nature, you have then readjusted and allowed a more worldly side to emerge. When this occurs, the more spiritual sides of your nature have become scorched and scarred. During this scarring process, there has indeed been much damage. When you have been injured, there then occurs the need for a period of recovery. Because of the recovery period, there has been much delay. When we saw many of you beginning to awaken, we rejoiced, but alas, we have also seen many return to a semi-comatose condition. This is because not all of the worldly attachments have been dealt with. When you have completed your pathways, you will not wish to return to this semi-conscious condition. As each segment of your individual pathways are cleared, then you can walk forward without dissent. It will be as if you have known no other way. When these segments are truly purified, then you will not wish to be known for your human qualities, but for your universal ones. We can see now that many are We can see now that many are having difficulties becoming at one with the universal mind. This is because of the energy interference within the confines of the planet Earth. As these energies are cleared, it will become easier and easier to realign with your final destinations. These destinations are somewhat different to those that have been a part of your repertoire before. The destinations are not religious ones. When we speak of universal mind, we do not speak here of something which is non-transferable. We speak of that which you will not understand. When you become a part of the universal mind, then you are becoming at one with your divine essence. The divine essence is complete in itself. It does not demand action of indeed response. It is complete in itself. The divine essence is indeed divine. When we speak of divine, it is as if we speak of something beyond the confines of the human understanding. Therefore, in order to become divine, one must allow the understanding to be retropose. When you are in retropose mode, then you are able to redefine that which is more important. It is as if there has been a turning of oneself inside out. We are attempting to allow you some forewarning of that which is approaching the lives of those who will choose to remain within the areas of the Earth planet. For those who do not choose to remain there, there will be many other choices. As time goes on, there are many choices which will have to be made. For some, it will be a continuation of the death planes, where they will be allowed to remain, but only within the etheric areas of the planet Earth. For these people, there will be much time spent allowing any of the negative areas of their minds clearance. This time will be spent around the planet, not within the earthly structure of the planet. We cannot explain to you how this works when we know that there are still many of you who do not wish to know. There will be many who are attempting to remain within the confines of the planes of duality. These people will not remain within the vicinity of Earth life. They will be allowed to continue their patterns, but will be transported out into the more secular regions of the cosmos. We will be allowing more and more information through to you as the energy transferences become higher. We cannot give all the information until the energy is high enough to allow your minds to become transposed. The third and final choice is one of redemption. This choice is indeed the choice which we would choose for you. We are not at liberty to choose for you. We jest with you. Our understanding is such that we would not have a choice to make, and we have compassion for those of you who will not be able to choose to become masters and will therefore allow your minds to remain unopened. If we had a can opener of immense proportions, would it not be good to carry out a massive wrenching away of old patterns and old delusions? But we are not at liberty to undertake this sort of task. Our task is one which is much more subtle and will be undertaken alongside those of you who are able to come towards us. We cannot take your lids off when you do not give us permission. If you give us permission, then we will come with our tools and our precision instruments. As each one of you lifts the lid, then we are able to give you inspiration and indeed the tools that will enable you to give out the information to others. We cannot always be alerted to the time when you are thinking of removing the lid, but we will be there when the opening occurs. It will be as if you are operating some sort of hydraulic mechanism, which when it begins to move will appear as if it is self-propelling. It will not require to be pushed and shoved, but will glide upwards, revealing the capacity of your universal consciousness. Sometimes we have been alerted to the beginnings of a lid lifting, and it has been severely hampered because of something happening, which alerts us to the knowledge that this person does not really wish the lid to be removed, but has been cajoled by another. This will not cause the lid to come off, but will cause some sort of disturbance which shows the lid becoming somewhat unstable. We cannot allow you to force others to lift their lids when you have not in fact lifted your own. It is a common human trait. Allow others to do what you have not in fact completed yourselves. It is as if you are eager to see another's experience before you experience yourselves. We do not wish you to affect anyone but yourselves. When your lids are lifted, you only need to be activated from this point to indeed be a part of the salvation of others. We cannot command you to stop these practices, but we will be around to make sure that you do not damage others. Some of these lids are lifting of their own accord. It is when a person surrenders that the lid glides upwards and allows them the full experience of universal consciousness. Do not attempt to lift your lids without first experiencing everything that you wish to experience within the realms of the third dimensional reality. It is the wishing that will severely damage you. You must not allow yourselves to become victims of unfulfilled dreams. The dreams of which we speak are much more to do with your spiritual completion. But if you are still hampered by unfulfilled wishes and dreams within the planes of the third dimension, then allow these to become reality. If you do not, then you will become very morose, for these dreams and wishes are part of your third dimensional experience. They do not just pop into your minds, they are part of the patterning which will need to be complete. It will be as if you're fulfilling your contract, a contract which must be fulfilled. Do not attempt to switch the contract before its completion time. It will not give you more credence within the spiritual realms to do this. We are not speaking here of addiction to the third dimensional realms, but genuine parts of your third dimensional contracts. You are all in receivership of your third dimensional contracts as well as your universal ones. It is not just... Sorry, I've just lost my place. If we allow you to complete both of these, then we are then on track to travel. Upwards and traversely across the cosmic highways. Some of you have become much too high-minded, which is giving you airs and graces, which will not befit your spiritual mantles. We cannot speak enough on this point in question. It is not just a question of becoming spiritual. It is a question of becoming at one with yourselves. These selves are normal human and spiritual beings. It will not be appropriate to emerge as pseudo-spiritual beings, because after a time that pseudo will dissolve and there will be no foundation to your attempt at release from the old patternings. The genuine article is that of pureness of spirit. This spirit does not come from attempting to cover over the gaps and misalignments. We cannot emphasize this enough, as there are many who are not going to become pure whilst they refuse to look at their own actions. It is better to go into retreat and be able to look within than it is to be outside and attempting to play the part. I'm going to leave it there because, oh my goodness, I haven't reread this book that I channeled in 1991, 1992 for a long time. And there's so much information in that, but I think it's so apt for these moments right now that we're in. So what I'm going to do is just leave it there for you to think about those words, or maybe play it again so that it goes in on the right level for you personally. What is it you're being reminded to do? I'm going to then read the next part of this in a couple of days, but what I am going to do is put the link to this book, which is readily available on all the amazon.com.co.uk channels on the internet, on Amazon. And it's been available there since, I'm trying to think when I had this one put out to the public. And I think it was 2012, because the first book went out in 1994. And my publisher at the time, and I'm trying to think, Alex Bartholomew, he decided that this second book was far too futuristic and he wasn't going to put it forward in 1994. So what I did was I put it onto Amazon myself in 2012, and it's available on Kindle for the, what I tried to do was make it so readily available that it could be bought by anyone. So it's the lowest prices for you to get the paperback, and the lowest prices that they allow on Amazon to get your Kindle edition. So thank you for listening. Please subscribe. Please like the videos. It so helps. This so important high-level information to be out there for people. Thank you. Bye for now.